Gentlemen, I give to you my wife.
Now, for some time now, you will say a year or Gifty Anti. Mami, Nesema Baba Trendy woman, so pa, efa, a year our giant Hunsendia, a man for a chuma, not to say a cost between or no, any new canoe a year Nana and Sapawa, or Tosso and 9. Yes, a Portuguese and Nana and Sapawa, the 4th. Or no, and I just say, a man for a chuma, I say. Our Rene Gu Ama, Mami, Krea, Apamunikunu, and a conversation that was going on social media, and they say, how is that possible? A quite bad partner will be to me possible, say, or Henry Gifty Anti Aquari, the place obviously will be like a palace or something. It's a bad send or no Pamunikunu, edit free, a year and if you want no man, that's a baby, and they and you're possible. But then there have been events unfolding, people coming out to say, no crack, and then they are closer to a Gifty Anti, and then they know what is going on deep down. Now, so mobile volunteer, now, just say, or more about Betty and Niema that looks all rousy and then luxury to us, and Bibia, and Costo, our renewal. It was a right training, say, Gifty Anti, and the new book, Bia Babontia, a dear net, that's no a one strong woman cries, one strong woman cry. Now, just say, or Baku could do ni Etsy and Nisua. Now, among for baby started say one more link to Gifty Anti herself, we know what I say. Yes, the issues that are coming up concerning her. Any book our dear banana say or person can and sembi editor Ghana for efa our real woman to be our communia that debusia. Everyone and that me no eka say. Gifty Anti ekunu den sembi our bonting. A bra na to say one more launches our bookie. One strong woman cry no. What they send be bray out to Monte Efa and near maybe a for a couple of our warrior no. And same way no a day in Tremu ye eba na ye name say aso our reno a woo ampa and I say our reno eda so ewo. We see a coming home na yensha video.
Let's welcome the backbone, the man who stands behind this great woman, Nana Ansakwao, the 4th Chief of the Little Republic of Edumasa in Akwemu.
Thank you. Please, may you take your seats. I think I would start by saying that I would stand on all existing protocols. Since almost everyone here is a dignitary, and if I start, I wouldn't know when to finish. So thank you. Thank you for showing up for my wife. Thank you so much for showing up for my wife. It's been one of the most difficult goodwill messages I have to give up, because of who I'm married to. Every now and then I have to give a goodwill message because something comes up. I mean, this is the 6th book, so this is the 6th goodwill message. But this has been a tough one, probably because of the title. Now, since I come from the palace, and the palace we tell stories rather than give speeches, permit me to say just a little story, and I'm glad that Professor Sadlan is here. I'm sure she would agree with my story even before I say it. Now, it's about the whole idea of, feminism and women power and women this and women that. Now, see, before I encounter with formal education, before I encounter with formal religion or Christianity, as an African home, family, society, whatever it is, it was always an alpha female that held us together. It was men came in only when it had to do with brute force and fighting and macho. Then men came. But if we had to sit down and think and plan and, the trajectory of family trees and who was a royal, who wasn't a royal, it was always women that held us together. And so women's place in a traditional setting has not ever been questioned. So that if you gave birth and it was a boy, and everybody thought, oh, hold on, what if it's a girl? And so it's a so we always held women there. And then anytime you in a traditional marriage, you're going to go and ask for a woman's hand in marriage, you realize that they don't give the woman to the groom, but to a guarantor. The groom must bring a guarantor, i.e. your father, your uncle, or somebody with good standing in your family. And the bride is given to that person to stand in as a guarantor. Because the greatest taboo is to go and abuse the woman. And so you bring a guarantor to say that, look, I'm taking your princess away, I'm taking your daughter away, and at all costs, I would treat her the same way as the family has. So, men being men started taking advantage when we got encountered with the Western world, and there was the issue of housewives, and there was issue when the Western world came, women didn't have a vote in the Western world. Where here, the prime voter or the first voter was a woman. And they came where, women were really, sit at the back when we are tired. Just but we were here saying, when all chips were down, but men being men thought, no, hold on, why don't we also create this housewife system and create women don't vote system? And gradually our culture and traditions got diluted. But going back to its original blueprint, in Africa, women have always voted. If you want to be a king, you needed the vote of a woman. Otherwise, forget it. You needed the vote of a woman. And when the men have muddied themselves and gone all the way and they reach literally a crossroads, it was a woman who otherwise all the machoism didn't go anywhere. And so to the modern now trendier woman in this room, I'm saying, when you're bringing up your sons, bring them up as culture demands, because it's not as bad. Even though it looks so confusing and everything, the meanings behind these things are very, very, very important. So let us bring our sons up to know that for them to guarantee continuity of life and their family, women should be valued and protected. And so when women were kept out of politics, it was because they felt that politics means you take sides. Politics means you a bit combative. Politics means you obey your kakra. Now, the irony is that now, like my queen mother is doing her PhD. And so if you tell her, it is as though, why? Can't I also, make an informed decision? After all, but the issue was that as soon as you take sides, as soon as you express opinion, as soon as you laugh at certain jokes, when we hit a stalemate, there are people who will say that, well, after all, only we are an auntie, so we cannot go and seek any decisions from her because we know where she stands. So, some of the decisions our forebears took, it was literally that they thought women were so superior that they should not come and muddy themselves where the men were. And not necessarily that the women could not contribute, because if that was the case, then we won't go to Abrewa. So So on this day that we're launching this wonderful book, all these women here, I'm saying that in bringing up your children, there are no chores that we imagine and a way imagine. It is not even cultural. It is not cultural that if we're in a house, a man and a man say no. The only time men came in was if the chore required a lot of muscle work. And just because biologically the boys built bigger muscle, they were asked to do the heavy job. But in terms of cooking, cleaning, checking a car oil today and whatever it is, in your homes, don't segregate it. Treat it the same. And to you, Awo, I say congratulations. I get the opportunity to give goodwill messages all the time. So congratulations. But this is a big one. When strong women cry. And when I read the title, my first thing I thought was, is this going to be your last book? Because how do you surpass this? But I know it's the grace of God that gave you the wisdom to write this book. And since the grace of God is not finished, I'm sure he's going to be there to give you to write an even bigger book than this one. God gave us all a talent and all a purpose. And sometimes it's very, very difficult to find your purpose. It's absolutely one of the most difficult things is to find what at all was my purpose in coming to this world. It's very difficult. And so once you have found your purpose to reach out and to help people, I guess 90% of your job is done. All I say is that keep on keeping on. And as your husband, I assure you that I give you all the support, all the encouragement, the support, and the room to move further. But as I keep giving goodwill messages, I say, I don't want this to be my last goodwill message.